Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Barely Bookish podcast. Today, I'm once again joined by Jen from In Her Good Books, and we're finishing up, I guess, the discussion of Wuthering Heights.
I can't believe that the book is already over.
I know. I am seeing a lot of comparison between the Bronte sisters, and now this means we need to read one of Anne's books. I don't remember
Yes.
which is what she's known for. There's
I
one
think
she's known for.
I think we looked it up last time, so
We did.
everyone can listen to that episode.
I know. It's been some time, okay? My memory's
Yeah.
not that good.
No. It'll get good once we're reading the book.
Hmm hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that next, probably. At some point. We're gonna do it at some point for sure. Maybe not
Yeah.
next,
Yeah.
but soon.
Maybe you need a Bronte break.
Yeah. No, Bronte break was good. That was no notes. No
No.
notes. I was gonna riff off that, and I was like, wait, sorry, that's
It's
perfect.
perfect, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we are on chapter 31. Mr. Lockwood goes back to the house and he's like, hey, I'm gonna go wait for Heathcliff. And Harrington's like, you weirdo? No. And just goes inside with him.
Yeah. Like nothing's changed. Why are you
Yeah.
here?
Literally. Like, for Mr. Lockwood, his entire perspective of Catherine and everyone in that house has completely changed. Everyone's like, we still didn't invite you over.
Yeah, they don't know that he's got the whole story either.
Yeah. They're like, why are you here? Freak? Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
They don't know that he has a giant picture of Catherine up on the wall in his bedroom.
Literally. He like gives it like kisses in the morning, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like teenage girl with their Justin Timberlake poster
Oh,
stares
yes.
at it every day.
Yeah.
Do people still do that?
I don't I mean, I have a teenage daughter and she has like cool stuff on her walls like art
Yeah.
and like fun, I don't know, tapestries. I had only
hmm
like NSYNC, JTT, Backstreet Boys
Yeah.
posters completely wallpapering my room.
I wasn't ever allowed to put posters up or like any art in my room. So it's not an experience I've ever had. So I was like, do people actually do that, or is it something that was just like TV shows?
I did it. And then when one time someone got Jorah a an Ed Sheeran poster because she went to the concert or something, and she was like, "What am
Mhm.
I supposed to do with this?" I'm like, "Put it on your wall. You love Ed Sheeran." And she's like, "That's creepy. I don't want to just have a picture of him on my wall." And I was like, "Oh, that's creepy. That's weird. I didn't do that at all." Huh.
Me never.
She's way cooler than I was in high school, though.
That's a vibe.
Yeah.
I, see, I'm also part of the nerdy side of me in high school, so
Yeah, they can't really
yeah.
compare, so.
Yeah. I my boyfriend got me some posters for Christmas, and I still haven't hung them up because I'm like, oh my god, I need a frame, and now I'm like, who am I?
Yeah, I know. We're adults. We need frames for our posters now.
I know. Like, this is crazy. This is like a little cringe.
It's awesome though.
I know, I'm gonna hang it next to my college degree, I guess.
Okay,
Anything else on the wall?
what's it a poster of?
Um, so there's one that's gonna go in the bathroom, and it's Godzilla on not Picasso. What's his name? I'm totally blinking. You know the wave that's like iconic? Who
Oh
did
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I can't remember the artist's name, but I know
I'm
exactly what you're
fully
talking about.
blanking. Everyone's
Yeah,
gonna bully us in the comments. Um
probably.
I was gonna hang up I was gonna put that in a frame and put it in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. And then I got two more, and one of them is Nightmare Before Christmas, and I was going to make that go behind another one so that I can switch it out for the holidays.
Ah, very smart.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
I love Nightmare Before Christmas because it's really last 3 months of the year. It can stay
yeah,
out the entire time.
Yes. But the rest of the year,
It's
it's kind of
Jordan.
weird.
I mean, I am a goth kid, so like
So it'll be okay.
50-50
Yeah.
chance. I mean, look, the listeners can't see what I'm wearing, but I am wearing my spiderweb pajamas. It is a matching set. They are also pants.
That's amazing. I thought it was
So
just like a really cool crew neck sweater.
I listen. I saw this at Target, and I was like, I should buy 4 pairs of these because I'll wear them all the time. You know, so when they
It's just
inevitably rub through,
it's just your only outfit. Like that is your Spider-Man outfit. Fight
pretty
crime.
much, yeah. They only had like my literal size left, and then like a couple extra smalls, and I was like, made for me.
Yeah,
You know,
perfect.
so yeah, they only had like 1 pair of my size, and then everything else was like extra smalls, and I was like, oh yeah, so
Just
had to
waiting for
have it,
you. Yeah, for sure.
surely. Um, so then Mr. Lockwood gets upset that Catherine doesn't greet him when he wasn't even invited.
Well, he loves her.
I know. He's just like I don't know. He's got like a parasocial relationship going on with her a little bit though. Like he's like, oh, it's a moment, and Catherine like doesn't know he exists. You
No, not
know?
at all.
Yeah. So, he tries to drop her a note secretly, and she is like, "What was that? Like, what is that?" Have you ever had that happen where you're like secretly texting someone across the room and they're like, "Why'd you just text me?" And you're like,
Ye-
"Shut up. Shut the
yes.
fuck up."
Yes. You just have to give them the look like, God.
So, he's like, "That's from Ellen." And then Harrington immediately picks it up, and Kathy's like, "If you don't give that to me right now, I will never forgive you." And he's like, "Oh, okay, fine, you can have it."
So awkward.
And then she like reads it, and then she's like, "Oh, does Ellen like you?" He goes, "Yes."
like, or
Yeah. And she's like, "I have no books here. Everything is misery. I have no way of writing. I can't even like rip scraps of paper out. I think they burned all the paper in this house. I've never seen a pen." Like,
yeah. And Lockwood's like, "What? No books, but I would die."
yeah.
Like, truly.
Honestly, mood, mood,
Yeah. Yeah, I understand your pain.
big same. So, um, she's like, I think Harrington's stealing all of my books because I broke into his room and he had a mini library in there and like he didn't own books before.
He can't have his own books. Like,
But yeah, apparently he can't have books. I don't know what that's about. Um,
well,
she's
she
just like,
makes fun
where?
of him for not being able to read. She gets mad at
Yep.
him for having a library. What can he do? Although he probably is stealing her books, so
I mean, it's better than like Heathcliff throwing them in the garbage, I guess.
yeah. Although it would make more sense for Heathcliff to throw them in the garbage because he wants no one to have any joy.
Hmm. Yeah. Maybe, maybe. All right. Thought experiment with me. Does Heathcliff let Harrington keep them solely because he cannot read? So then it's further punishment whenever he has to see a book.
Probably, especially since he has a thing for Catherine, so now he's just staring at her books all the time,
Mm-hmm.
wishing he could read, wishing she wasn't making fun of him for not reading.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all around torture. Or maybe Heathcliff doesn't even know. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe he just. But
He's kind of
Heathcliff's
starting
like,
to
I'm gonna.
check out.
Yeah. Maybe Heathcliff's like, oh, I'm gonna get rid of her books, and Harrington just steals them.
Yeah,
Could be.
could be.
So Harrington's like, that's how you feel. Okay, and then he gets up and grabs a bunch of books and just chucks them straight in the fire because she's like, if you touch them, they're polluted. And he's like, okay.
Fine. She's she's she was so like painted at first to be so nice and sweet and wonderful. Like Mrs. Dean was just like, this was the best child in the world.
Mhm.
But I think she might be worse than how her mother was.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's
I guess,
mean.
yeah, she wasn't subjected, like, Catherine was not subjected to the level of, like, constant terror that, like, Catherine Jr. has been subjected to, I feel like.
This is true.
Like, I feel like Catherine the First could have been this mean had she gone through the same level of, like, mistreatment.
Yeah. But also Catherine Jr., she was mean to Hareton like pretty early on
Yeah.
before she had been tortured.
Yeah.
Now she kind of has a reason to be a jerk because she's being held there against her will. She was
Mhm.
forced to marry someone she didn't want to marry, and now she's not allowed to do anything or have anybody. So I guess she can be
Mhm.
mean, but she's always been that way, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she just, like, the hard part too is, like, while she was mean, she was also spoiled and incredibly sheltered.
Yeah.
So that didn't help anything.
No, not at all.
So then Heathcliff utters the line that really honestly encompasses this entire book. He says, "A guest that is safe from repeating his visit can generally be made welcome." So funny.
Okay. Say it again.
A guest that is safe from repeating his visit can
Yeah.
generally be made welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, perfect.
Like, that encompasses the whole story, actually.
Yeah, that could be like the subtitle of
Mm-hmm.
the book.
Mm-hmm. So Heathcliff starts just ordering Kathy around like a servant, because I guess that's what we're doing. Um,
He just decides anybody is a servant.
Literally, you walk in the door and he's like, "All right, servant."
Yeah. And then they're just like, okay, I guess I'm a servant.
Yeah. Oh, poor me. Don't you hate when that happens? So, oh, I didn't. The problem was in this note, I did not write down who the he was, and I had to like really think about it. So then Mr. Lockwood says to Nellie, he's like, "What if I just like formed an attachment to Catherine? Like, what if I don't know, asked her out or something?" And I'm like, "Sir, what?
Like,
No."
no, she has not given any indication that she has even knows you exist, that you are interesting to her at all. And
Yeah,
also, she's being held captive.
yeah.
You're gonna have to go up
This
against
is
Heathcliff.
literally. But like, this is also like on the skew of being like, "Oh yeah, I saw a model, and I think I might ask her out for dinner." I'm like, she's gonna say no, buddy.
Yeah,
She's gonna say
exactly.
no.
Yeah.
So then we are on to chapter 32. So time goes by. Mr. Lockwood's been traveling, I think seemingly almost a year at this point. His lease is about up or is up. Um, and he's like, "Oh, I'm nearby. I guess I should go settle my accounts with Heathcliff." So he heads back to the Grange. He walks up, and like the entire place is like basically shut down and closed. And he's like, I'm gonna stay in this place I'm renting tonight. And the servant out front's like, "You didn't send word?
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't you just like assume you should keep one room that's like not that it won't take that long to turn around, you know?"
Yeah, right. He's just like, I'm home, and everyone's like, shit.
Yeah. Fuck. Fuck. Yeah, yeah, no problem. We can totally like clean it up. We haven't dusted in an eon, but you know, that's fine. We'll clean it.
Like they have people working there. Like, come
I
on.
know. Like all I'm imagining, like what do they do when the head of the house is just out and about, like
Yeah,
vacationing? Do you just kind of like chill, play cards? Like what are you guys up to?
maybe.
Like I guess like people that like do outside work still have to keep the house nice, and if it's one of those that are like a touring house, then I guess you have to like do stuff. But like, what's everybody else doing?
Yeah.
You
Or
know
else
that like
why are you there?
yeah, That's what I want as my job. I want a job where like I have to work a lot, but only when the person's in town and they're like never in town. That's the
Yes.
kind of job.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe I want to get into yachting, you know? You like grind for like 3 months out of the year and then you can live off of it the rest.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm not gonna do that. That sounds terrible. But also, the
It's a,
dream's there.
yeah, it's a dream.
Yeah. Can't even imagine. Like I'm sure that's so difficult to do. Just like
Oh
not have
yeah.
a break at all for 3 months. But
But having a break for 9 months.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
pretty good.
If I have a midlife crisis, that's what I'm doing.
Okay,
Yeah. So just
deal.
he's like, all right, well, while you get that ready, I guess I'll go to the heights then. Have fun. I'm like, you were going to the heights anyways.
Yeah.
Don't
Like,
act like it's a burden.
again, just another casual 4 mile walk down to the heights. I
Yeah.
guess it better
And he
space.
never
I guess it better stay the night.
Yeah, crazy. So Lockwood also doesn't like knock at all. He just kind of breaks into the house, which is very Lockwood of him.
It is, yes.
He's like, actually, the gate wasn't locked, so I think they wanted me to come in. And I'm like, what? What?
Like, these are the kinds of people that I don't know. I guess I want to lock my door anyways, but I
Mm-hmm.
extra want to lock my door
Mm-hmm.
against people like Lockwood.
Yeah, yeah, like a four deadbolt situation, you know.
Yes, yeah, because one isn't enough to keep him out.
Mm-mm. He's like, oh, they only locked one. That means they want me to, pick it and come in. So Lockwood immediately hears flirting. It's Harrington and Kathy, which is, I mean, I know they're cousins, so we have to like forget that they're cousins because
Yes.
1800s. But he's like, if I read this passage, you have to give me a kiss, and I'm like, aw, cute.
They're just like so completely different. He's described as like
Yeah.
this like handsome gentleman in like fine
Mm-hmm.
clothes, and I'm just like, what the heck? And here I actually for a while I had to stop the book and really think hard about who Harrington even is. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, yes. The brother's kid.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember
Yeah.
what the brother's name was.
Hindley.
Hindley, yeah, Hindley's kid. It took me
Yeah.
way too long to remember.
I made a family tree when I
Oh
had
yeah,
this on my blog. So,
yeah,
because I was like, I need this, so you all also probably need this.
yes, yeah. Good
And like
thinking.
while making it, I remembered that like they had like two others, like the not Earnshaw, the um, what's that other family's name?
The Lintons.
Yes, the Lintons had like two other siblings that never get mentioned again.
Really?
Remember at the very beginning, there was Isabel and Edgar, and then there was the two others.
No,
And
I
I was like,
totally missed them.
I know, I'm not even going to include them in
Yeah,
the
they
family
don't.
tree. They don't matter.
So weird.
Yeah. I completely forgot about it until I was like, I made this like very much at the beginning,
Hmm.
right after we like learned about them. And I was like, oh, okay.
And then they never showed up again. So it's like, well,
Mm-mm. I didn't even write
pointless.
their names down. They either had one or two other siblings. I don't remember.
Weird.
I feel like I should double check myself, but it's fine. It doesn't actually matter.
No, you're probably right.
So, and then Mr. Lockwood's like, oh, I missed my chance. I'm like, there was not a chance in hell. Honestly,
Yes. Oh
zero
darn.
chance.
No, pretty
Um,
much. I think
and
we
then
all saw this Hareton Catherine thing coming
yeah,
for
like
quite a while.
Harrington, literally, Harrington was like fawning all over, um, Kathy the whole time, and then Kathy was like, "Oh, you're not the worst, I guess."
Yeah, there's nobody else around either, so
Yeah, I mean, who else are they gonna date? They don't
Lock
go to town.
no. And Lockwood, I mean, he left, so not that it would have been a thing anyways, but he
Yeah.
definitely gave up his chance.
Honestly, have you ever met somebody that just exists in the 5 mile radius of their home? Because I have, and it's the craziest thing to me.
No, I can't think of anybody.
Yeah. There's someone my parents are friends with that they will not travel outside of like 10 miles of their home ever.
That's so weird.
I know. I'm like, the mileage on your car must be so small.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think about that when I like think of this couple because I'm like, you guys have like never seen outside anybody outside of your family.
It's so weird. Why would you want that?
I know. Well, I guess they see like the people that work for their house, but
uh,
like those people are paid to be nice to you.
yeah. This is the same situation that we have here in this book.
Mm-hmm. So, um, Heathcliff dies. Slay.
Yeah. So now that he's gone, everybody is
Yeah.
so happy and
Full of
just,
joy.
yeah,
Yeah, and then we get Mrs. Dean giving us the hot, hot goss as she does.
of course.
Turns out, so right after Lockwood left, Heathcliff had Nellie come over because Catherine's was annoying him, which is fair, honestly.
Honestly,
Um,
yes.
she's kind of a lot, and he hates everyone, so
Yeah. He does not want to be the one to have to entertain her.
yeah, fair enough. So, Kathy was just endlessly bullying Harrington. Nothing new there. Um, until she's kind of was like, basically, what sort of happened is Kathy was like bullying him, hoping that it would make him want to read, even though she bullied him before for like reading. So she was like, maybe if I continue this, he'll suddenly want to start reading again. And no.
That would not work on me. No.
Yeah. See, I do a lot of things out of spite, so it might work on me, to be honest. Um, who's to say? I don't
There's
know.
like a part where he said something like, well, because you want me to, now I'm definitely not doing it. And I was
Yep.
like, yep, that is what I would be like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So it depends on if I know their motive or not. Cuz then it's like, "Oh, you're doing that to get me to, then I'm not going to." Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And then in the end she's like, oh, but like I just want to be your friend. I take back
Yeah.
everything that I said. Just hang out with me. And he's like, no, you're a bitch.
Yeah, literally. And then she like keeps apologizing to him and she's like, "You hated me this whole time." And he's like, "I've literally never hated you ever. I stick up for you all the time. What are you talking about?" She goes, "You stick up for me?"
uh,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Oh,
Hareton.
and then the other thing is that she did is she started reading aloud, and then as soon as it would get to a really interesting part, she'd put the book down.
It's kind of smart. Then just leave it
Yeah,
out and like try to lure him.
iconic, honestly. So she ends up giving Harrington a book. Well, via Nellie. So she gives the book to Nellie, tells Nellie to tell him, and they're sitting in the same room, by the way, that if he keeps it, she'll teach him how to read, but if he just puts it down, she'll never ask again. And so he just kind of like sits there and holds it. And like after a few minutes, she like walks over and they like mumble to each other. And Nellie's like, I don't know what they said though, but they started smiling. And then apparently Catherine kissed him on the cheek. And she was like, oh, Nellie. And then Kathy's like, I don't know. I just wanted to know we were friends. And Nellie's like, I don't know about that
Friends.
girl.
I don't know. Yeah.
And then like Mrs. Dean can't control herself and cuts forward to present day. She goes, "I just can't wait for them to get married."
Yeah, it's supposed to be on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
How
I
romantic.
love when she gets distracted while telling stories. It's my favorite part.
Yeah. Although, I feel like New Year's Day on the moors, like maybe they're getting married in town, but they don't go to town. They have to be
No.
getting married at Wuthering Heights. That sounds
Yeah.
miserable.
Yeah, it'd be so cold.
Hmm.
Gonna be me. I'm not a cold person. I don't like. I mean, I do live in Florida, so my cold is like 60, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like,
Uh,
oh, it's 75 or it's like 70 degrees. Maybe I bring a light sweater, you know?
oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's pretty warm.
Yeah,
Pretty nice and comfortable.
I know. I went and I was in Connecticut and it was like 65 or something. And everyone's sitting outside in shorts and like tank tops. And I got cold and I had to grab a jacket and they all laughed at me. All my friends laughed at me.
God. Well, I
And
remember
I'm like,
going
you will not
to
survive.
I remember going to Vegas in like I don't know, January or something.
Hmm.
And yeah, we were walking around with like our shorts and tank tops on and everyone was like,
Hmm.
"Well, you must be from Canada." And we're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, we are." This is nice. What are you talking about?
I forgot you're from Canada. I didn't. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't know where in my brain I thought you were from. No, I definitely knew that, and I completely forgot. It just like didn't register until you just said
That's
that
why
again. I
I'm
was like,
wearing my plaid shirt. It's my
yeah,
uniform.
yeah, legally required. When you get
Yeah.
born, they immediately give you in every size different flannels.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, but it's like 100 degrees, and I'd be like, yeah, nice sunny Florida day.
Yes. I mean, that's it gets pretty hot like in my
Hmm.
city. It's in
Yeah,
one of the hotter areas. So, I'm trying to think like what that would be because we do Celsius.
I know. I
So,
never
like
know the conversion.
I can do it, but also why would I?
I
Um
cannot remember what the actual like conversion rate is of that, to be honest.
40 Celsius different. Yeah, so it kind of gets up to like 104 degrees and that's kind of like too
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah. There was I was in Miami for an internship. Well, I was technically in Fort Lauderdale, but they're right next to each other. Not really, but like kind of.
Mhm.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was in Fort Lauderdale for an internship and I had to wear like pretty business professional clothes and it was like so freaking hot and it was like I had to walk across like pavement, like dark pavement, and every day I'd be like fanning myself before I got on the elevator and went up to my internship. So I was like drenched in sweat, which
Yeah.
now I know to buy linen and that has been life changing for my professional wardrobe, to be honest.
I guess yeah, there are hacks
Yeah.
because how else would anybody survive in these kinds of places when they have to wear like suits and crap? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I have a pair of linen pants and a linen shirt, and I'm like, right now I'm kind of like on my weight loss journey. So once I like get to my goal, I have to buy a new wardrobe anyways, and I'm
Hmm.
like, it's gonna all be linen.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
anyways, back to the book, chapter 33. Mrs. Dean's like, um, okay, we're going to dinner, Catherine. Do not look at Harrington because if you look at Harrington, and with all that love in your eyes, Heathcliff's gonna be pissed. And what does she do? Immediately, she like basically grabs the chair and drags it all the way over to Harrington and like sits right next to him. I'm like, girl, what?
Yeah. Well, does she care if she makes Heathcliff mad? Probably not.
Probably not. So then after she's like giggling with Heathcliff, or not Heathcliff, Harrington for a minute. Heathcliff finally notices, and he's like, there's no laughter. You're not allowed to do that.
Like, what? No joy in this house?
Yeah, in this depression castle, you
Yeah.
expect to be able to laugh? That's illegal.
Ab- Absolutely not.
So Kathy's like, you can't tell me what to do. And Heathcliff's like, I'm actually gonna beat you up. And she's like, I'm gonna tell Harrington what you did to his dad and that you stole from him. And you stole like everything and everything Harrington knows. And then Heathcliff's like, I will actually kill you if you don't get out of my sight right now.
Pretty sure Harrington knows
Yeah.
that Heathcliff is bad. Like,
Yeah.
you're not
But it's
really
like,
like spilling the beans.
literally. But it's like Heathcliff completely raised him, so like he's gonna still love what he sees as his dad, you know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So Harrington pulls Kathy aside later and is like, hey, can you not talk bad about my only parent? Because it's like, imagine I just started talking mad trash about your dad.
Yeah.
And Kathy's like, okay, fair, I guess. Like, I'll just not do that anymore. So then Heathcliff turns to Nellie and he's like, are we alone? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, the entire point was to get revenge on the people that wronged me, and I no longer care. And Nellie's like,
Yeah.
okay. Like, how are you
Yeah.
gonna get revenge on dead people? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just doesn't even matter anymore.
There's
And
no more joy.
these kids are like, they're used to it. They're used to the torture
Yeah.
now, and it doesn't even bother them. They've somehow managed to find joy,
Yeah.
anyways.
Literally. Um, and then Heathcliff says that everybody and everything in this world reminds him of Catherine. And I'm like, fair enough, buddy.
Yeah, he says like he looks at Hareton and Catherine Jr. and is like and sees Kathy's eyes, like Catherine Senior's eyes, in
Mm-hmm.
their eyes. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's because they're all related.
Literally. And it makes me laugh that she's like, Harrington looks more like Kathy than Catherine Jr. And I'm like, I'm not so sure about that,
Yeah,
actually.
that this is when I was like, wait, who is Hareton? Why does he look like Kathy? Okay, nephew. I guess that is possible, but
Yeah.
yeah, I
But
got
I feel like
confused.
Nellie originally told us that like Catherine Jr. looked like a kinder version of Catherine Sr. So
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not too sure about that, Heathcliff. I think you're fooling yourself here.
yep.
I think legitimately he does not want to admit that he's attracted to his niece? Question mark.
Yeah, question mark.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they're not related, but
It's
no,
still not. No.
kind of, because I mean, well, by marriage, because he did kind of marry Isabel, so kind of
Yeah.
his niece
Yes. Niece by marriage. Ish.
ish. This family tree's a mess. So then we're on to chapter 34. Heathcliff has fully stopped coming to meals. He eats maybe once every 24 hours at this point. Um, then he just stops eating at all. And then he goes out one day all night. And Kathy sees him the next morning when he walks in, and she's like, Heathcliff looks happy, I'm terrified.
For reals. I just assumed he is like dug up Catherine Senior's grave
Mm-hmm.
and had been laying with her through the night.
Yeah, literally. Just like, or just like even on her gravesite. I really don't
Yeah.
know. So Nellie's like, well, he's never had joy in the entirety of his life, so I'm gonna go see what's going on.
This is not normal.
Yeah. So, um, Heath was like, "Oh, I'm not hungry, and I was just walking around." My other note is I love that everybody can just decide when they feel like dying in this book. It just makes me
I
laugh.
know. And then they're just like, I'm gonna die, lay down, dead.
Hmm.
Like, I hope that one day I get to decide
Yeah.
when I'm gonna die by like
Yeah.
natural causes, not suicide.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, who knows with Heathcliff really what happened there, but
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
else just decided that they were ill and they would die.
Hmm. Hmm. It's just like Heathcliff kind of starved himself, but they're like, there must have been something else going on. And I'm like, I mean, 4 days is a bit of time to go, you know?
Yep.
I don't
Maybe
know how long it takes. Well, can't you die of dehydration in like 48 hours?
I think it's like 4 days. 4 days without water and you're dead.
Let's find out. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Quick Google, quick Google. Ugh. 3 days,
There you go.
according to Medical News Today, which seems pretty legit.
Hmm. But I think
Okay.
you can go without food forever. Not ever, but a long time.
Maybe it's.
So
Is that one? I think that one's like a week.
I think
I
it's
don't
longer
remember.
than that.
Oh.
I want to be like a month,
Hmm.
but I don't know.
That's crazy. I mean, I guess like you get a lot of like as long as you're drinking water consistently. I mean, people fast, right? Like
Yeah. 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 I don't think he
I
starved to
don't know.
death. He could have been dehydrated.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor. I don't know these things.
Yeah, who knows?
Um, Heathcliff's like, everyone better leave me alone for dinner. Um, and then Nellie's like, yeah, I had a nightmare about setting his gravestone up, and because we don't know when he was born and he doesn't have a surname, it just says Heathcliff and the day he died.
Which is drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I didn't realize that like they had no birthday for him this entire time. Like it never crossed my mind.
They didn't even make one up, as far
No.
as we know. Because if they did, if they had a made up birthday, then they would put that on there. But no,
Yeah.
nothing.
They didn't even have like an approximate age for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was with them like since he was a kid. See, I feel like you could have approximated an age.
Yeah. I got the impression that he was around like 3 to 4 when he came to live with them,
Yeah.
but could be 7 to 8. I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, worst comes to worst, you're off by like a year or two. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Kids at a certain age, they can only be within
Yeah.
a certain window.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like a 2 and a 3-year-old look pretty different. You know what I
Yes, they
mean?
do. Yeah.
Like
Yep.
once you get into like 11 to like 13, I think things start getting a little more difficult from there on
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So, Nellie then mentions that she felt like Heathcliff kept watching someone that wasn't there. I was like, oh, Catherine Sr.'s there.
Yeah. She's there to get him.
Yeah. And then she could hear Heathcliff talking to Catherine through the walls and like mumbling to her. She was like, oh, that's starting to get weird.
Creepy.
And then Heathcliff's like, I need to summon Mr. Green so I can write my will really quick. And she's like, why don't we not do that? You got time left? He's like, all right,
Uh,
whatever. I'm not gonna write a will then.
he's like, no, actually, I've decided to die tonight, so I'm gonna need to
Yeah.
do this now.
He's like, sorry, I scheduled death for like 9:30.
Yeah.
So we got like 45 minutes, you
Yeah.
know?
Like, oh, that's not enough time. Well, dang. Whoops.
Sorry, you gotta work around my schedule. I decide when I die.
Yeah.
So then they end up calling the doctor because he's raised enough red flags, and um Heathcliff would not allow himself to be seen, which is like he's already picked his death date, you know?
Yeah.
He's going forward with it.
He does not want to be doctored.
So then the next day, Heathcliff, or I guess overnight, Heathcliff dies like staring out an open window, like freezes his entire body in a cruel smile to the point where like Nellie was so freaked out. Like she tried to close his eyes, they wouldn't close. And Stu's also completely soaked. She's like, he looked like a goblin, like a vampire. I don't know. I don't know if he was a ghoul. Like, she's like, the only reason I know he's not a vampire is because I did see him like grow up, but I'm still freaked out.
Yeah. Like, how does he manage to die like that?
I know. The most Heathcliff thing, to be honest.
Yes.
So Harrington cries all night. The rest of the entire family is like, oh, thank God, you know? They call the doctor to come see the body, and he's like, I literally could not tell you what killed him. Like, no idea.
No.
So now people say they see Heathcliff's ghost all the time, and then like a little boy in the woods says that he sees Heathcliff and Catherine's ghosts together, but like everyone's a little too freaked out to get close, which makes me laugh because everybody was freaked out by them in person anyways.
Right.
Um, and then Mrs. Dean says that when Kathy and Harrington get married, they're going to the Grange because the Heights is a shit show, which fair.
Yeah, and like when Lockwood is there, they've Heathcliff has been dead for 3 months and they're
Mhm.
still at Wuthering Heights. Like, why wouldn't they move over to the Grange like
I
immediately?
know. Well, I guess technically they have to let Lockwood finish out his lease.
I guess so, but like, come on.
Yeah.
He would be
Yeah.
so happy if he came back and Catherine was sleeping in his bed.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, and then there's like still shattered windows at the Heights and everything, and I guess they're just letting it fall into disrepair. They said the only thing they're keeping open is the kitchen, and that's where they're gonna leave Joseph, which
Which,
so
like,
funny.
oh, fair, because seriously. There was a whole, or maybe this is coming up, but there was a whole segment where Joseph was talking a lot. And I was
Yeah.
like, no. And then there was another servant who had the same like dialect as him. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
Like I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the last part of the book is Lockwood walking by and seeing the three graves all next to each other. And he's like, I don't know who keeps saying that they're resting peacefully. Like, those three beef so hard, there's no way.
Oh my god. Poor Edgar is just like beside
Yeah.
those two for all eternity.
Yeah.
And no, I mean he chose to be buried next to Catherine, but sucks to be him now that Heathcliff is there as well.
Yeah, literally. So that was Wuthering Heights. What a book.
Final thoughts?
This is so, it's so dramatic. And I'm obsessed.
It made me so happy.
Yeah. I definitely need to finish out the Bronte trio.
Yeah.
At this point I'm 2/3 of the way there. It's gotta happen.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like we need to know, are they all this dramatic?
They have to be.
They have to be, because we're on a good trend with both, Jane Eyre and now Wuthering Heights. Like, we're very gothic, very dramatic, like very polar opposites of drama, to be honest, but both very dramatic. And now I need to know if Anne Bronte is also this dramatic.
Imagine if she was just so like blah. She's the
Yeah,
boring sister that's like eh.
I'll scream.
Yeah.
I will scream.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, no, the one that I want to read is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall.
Okay.
And then the other
Yeah.
one is Agnes Grey by her.
Down for either because I need to
Yeah.
know.
I just like the title. I don't know what either of these books are about, but I like The
Same.
Tenant of Wildfell Hall title. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That gives the right amount of drama for me.
Yeah. Agnes Grey does not give me enough information in a title, and I refuse to read the synopsis.
I mean, Jane Eyre, though, is
Uh,
also just, you know,
it's true.
it's
It
a,
is, but it's so famous that
I know.
you kind of know. So,
We need an outside source to tell us which is more dramatic.
yes, which one?
Let us know in the comments,
Yeah,
please.
we need quite a few polls up.
Yeah, right. Well, where can all the people of the internet find you and your stuff so that they can know where to fill out your poll?
Yes. So we are in Her Good Books podcast, and you can find us anywhere you get your podcasts. And we are in Her Good Books podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
And we'll catch you here in 2 weeks for some sort of movie episode. We don't know what we're gonna watch yet, but we're watching something.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Me too. All right. We'll see you in the next chapter. Bye, everybody.
Bye.